I'm excited to be bringing on Nan Akasha because this is actually her debut presentation on Portal to Ascension. This is the first time that we're having her on here, and I always love to bring new people onto this platform that have such great insight because, Portal to Ascension is partly that, a platform allowing for many people who have voices and amazing things to share to come on and share it. So, introducing you all to Nan Akasha. She has the uncanny ability to see right to the core of your challenge, according to her clients. She's a 7-time #1 best-selling author and popular speaker. Akasha is like Abraham Hicks on steroids, somebody said. It's funny. Founder of the Mayan Dolphin Magic Retreats, Intuition Awakening, and Light Body Healing, Akasha is 35-year master energy healer, spiritual teacher, shamanic visionary, animal and dolphin communicator, and seer. She actually facilitates annual dolphin retreats, think more than one a year even, in the Yucatan area. She has created over 200 online programs, combines decades of study with master healers, shamans, indigenous healers, mystery schools with dozens of certifications in vibrational medicine, and over 3 decades of healing, teaching and guiding to create practical and powerful soul awakening sessions and courses for healing, manifesting, and spiritual growth. She's an award-winning businesswoman. Her and her soulmate Chris live on the Emerald Coast of the Yucatan, one of my favorite places in the world, while their twin girls are at college. Author of 7 best-selling books and hundreds of online programs. So everybody, please join me in welcoming Nan Akasha for the first time here on Portal to Ascension. And we've had some exchanges over the past year, so I'm excited to be seeing her here. So bringing you on, Nan. Here we go. Go ahead and start your camera.
Okay. Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Actually, I have been on Portal to Ascension. I was on the Dolphin Conference in January.
Of course.
You brought it. You brought it at the Dolphin.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. Hi. And thank you, Bridget. Thank you, all you guys. Wow. I'm so excited. I've been doing magic for hours, and then I got on and I've been listening. And when you did your presentation, Neil, I was like this. I was starting to vibrate. I was like, I have to stay. Part of me has to stay here for this. But so many of the things that you were touching on, of course, comes to our common love, the Maya and Kukulkan, who I've been working with for 8 years now. And the whole idea that we're descended gods. You said that you saw yourself at the pyramid being one of these guides. Yeah. And I'm getting goosebumps again, because this is what I do. I take people to the pyramids and we do the activations, and Kukulkan is always there, and that's the whole point. It's like you were a descended god. You came down like they show on the equinox, right, in Chichen Itza, and then what you do is you climb back up, and that's what we've been doing. Wow. And we've reached the top. It's unity consciousness. We just haven't quite let go of some of those other layers, right? But that remembrance that we were descended gods. So how beautiful to see yourself in that. It's really such a power to go to these places.
Exactly, yeah. Beautiful. Well, I'm excited for everything you're going to share, Nan. It's all yours. Take it away.
Thank you. Well, it's so many wonderful things already have been coming up, and I got inspired to put my rainbow crown on because Bridget was bringing in so many beautiful rainbow energies. I work with the rainbow dolphins. I work with the dolphins in the physical. I work with the dolphins on all the different realms as well. I'm a jaguar medicine woman. And since I came to the Yucatan 8 years ago for 2 months, now I'm still here. I have had that incredible blessing of working with so many ceremonial leaders, going into so many caves, going into the cenotes. I think somebody mentioned them earlier. And that energy of the serpent being such a profound thing in our culture and our mind. So people have been touching on it. And what I've been downloading, about 16 pages of notes just today, new channels. And what's happening is that the serpent energy is what embodies the dragon energy now in the physical. And it's part of it is about the context of what is optimal in the structure of the planet right now, the structure of the frequencies that we're living in right now. What can that support? And are we getting bigger, or do we need to physically get bigger? Or are we connecting to the layers, the multidimensional layers of who we are, and realizing that the truth is within us, right? That idea of the Kundalini. So the two meridians, the Ida and Pingala, are supposed to wind up like the caduceus, the medical symbol, and cross through each chakra. It's supposed to be masculine and feminine principle, not gender. And it's supposed to feed each energy center equally. And when you have an imbalanced Kundalini awakening, which someone touched on, and I have a lot of clients and clients' children that we've walked through these, where you don't do the work and don't learn with a sacred teacher in some way how to activate your energy, how to bring your energy into a space where you're safe, you're protected, you're guided, you're aligned with your highest good, what's optimal in this moment for you. It's all you need to really know is to say those words. Then what happens is that we're out of balance. So we know we're out of balance on the planet. We've had the masculine principle out of control. We've had the feminine principle out of control, both out of balance. One literally pushed into the recesses of the planet, like that sacred feminine, that Gaia energy, drawn back into the center of the planet, into the crevices, into the caves, holding its sacred secret of what the serpent represents. Well, transformation, transmutation, transfiguration. Kundalini, what is Kundalini? It's life force. So we have life force pouring through us, or we wouldn't be walking around. However, almost everybody has still some level of imbalance of that. The 8 original cells at the base of your spine, which is literally where your physical body came from, holds the blueprint of your soul. And your blueprint of your soul holds all the energies. It's like you brought everything you need. You're here on a fully funded mission, right? Your spiritual purpose and your mission, you're meant to live the life your soul intended. You're not meant to live everybody else's life. It's why everybody's been going through years and years of this, realizing that you're living everyone else's life, trying to disconnect from those habits that you can't get rid of, or not thinking you're good enough, or judging yourself, and all of that. And this is the moment where we leap. Okay, you can't play that game anymore. You can't say I'm wounded and identify with it. You can't say, oh, those people are bad over there. That guy's bad. That guy's good. I'm on this side. I'm on that side. I'm going to worry all the day, but then I'm going to say I love Gaia and peace. We can't do this anymore. And the dragon energy is uber powerful. So I'm going to share with you the year of the wood dragon, the green wood dragon, which is starting next year. And this is massive change. And if you have any astrology friends, or any, been listening, 2024, 2025 are going to be epic. Nobody knows how they're going to unfold, but they're going to be bigger than what they could see, what you could see in the stars for the year of the pandemic. So if we're going from a rabbit year, a yin rabbit year right now, that's what we're in. It's a pretty intense year, right? Everybody's been dragging up the deep shit. We're seeing it explode within people on the global stage because Gaia is getting rid of it. And that essence of the Kundalini of Gaia, because we all come from Gaia, we all are the stardust, all that thing, is that we have to literally drag up from the depths of the earth, which is why I love to go to the caves. I love to go to the cenotes, because we go to different ones. I find private cenotes, and one's like a womb. It's called a Guadalupe, and it's a round womb, circular, and it's got the stalactites around the sides, and the cave next to it, like where there's earth. We have this ceremony, and this cacao, and this spa, and we do all this things, and we literally shed right inside of Gaia. And this is where these sleeping dragon serpent energies lie. They're not fierce. They're independent. They're self-contained. So one of the things I teach in my intuition awakening and my light body school and all the different things is that you don't ground to the earth. You are the friggin' earth. You are an earth star, and you're from other stars too. So you just say, I am the earth. This is the earth. And all the chakras and then the light body, pillars of light, and all the layers of your aura and everything else, right? You got a huge light body that contains all kinds of blocks, all kinds of contracts, all kinds of karmic knots, and contains all kinds of codes, all kinds of powers. You have everything here. So what is it? how do we get balanced energy moving through this so that the root can, so that this sacral right at the base of the spine, this 8 original cells is in the sacral. And this is where the serpent is. This is the Kundalini that's coiled up. And literally in all different philosophies, you hear this. And, you know, the Maya even have the word for Kundalini and chakra, right? Chakra. And it's all across. Everybody knew that this is there. But why is it resting? Why is it hidden? Well, it's a part of the whole history of us becoming afraid of our power and the imbalance of power. So the imbalance of power could be seen as this is the terrain that we just went through. You know, we went through our elliptical cycle, a cycle of eclipses, and we came back around now. We're coming closer to the golden age, back to the higher consciousness. We have built the world. So the Mayan pyramid, that is a 9-step pyramid, okay, is every level is a wave of consciousness. And there's the first one, the biggest one, the base is eons and eons and eons and eons of time, where consciousness, source, God, whatever you want to call it, the one mind, the intelligence, begin to experiment with creating form. The elements, Gaia, right? She came in and started just creating all this primordial things. And then each layer gets shorter and shorter and shorter because it's less time. And it's an amazing thing to study, to be honest. So every time we climb the pyramid, we consciously touch each one of those layers and realize that we descended. They have a temple of the descending God at the top. That's you, that's me. There's a carving of a dude upside down coming down. Woo, okay? We are the descended God. We are demigods, okay? We're just like the heroes they write about in Greek mythology. And that's what I'm going to end with, is Greek mythology of Python or Delphine, which is the sacred serpent of the Gaia's Kundalini that was taken over. And so the Maya, and the reason one of the reasons I was brought here is I'm a pyramid girl, and I've been doing all my work in Egypt and in England. And then I was like, oh, I got to get back to Egypt. And then they brought me here, and the shamans started coming in, and Kukulkan Khan started, and the Jaguar came. And the Kundalini that we are meant to awaken now has to be done the same way everybody's been talking about. We have to awaken the heart. We have to become coherent. We have to unplug from this illusion that's happening, because if you're a part of it at all, you are creating it. What reality are you creating? Can you handle the strength of the wood dragon? The green wood dragon year next year means yang is masculine. It's a masculine energy, okay? Green, the color green, is about growth. It's like the epitome of growth. And there's healing energy in there and all of that. But the dragon is the most powerful sign in the Chinese zodiac. And so this is power and strength, but this is prosperity. And how do we handle that energy? We've seen people mishandle energy for so long that we have this, there's an innate shutdown, right? Fear of being a healer and getting burned at the stake, fear of this, fear of that, whatever. So all those things are coming to the surface, and the sooner that we say, oh, okay, I can trust. So what I've been shown is that the sun, Kukulkan, is the feathered serpent. The feathers represent spirit. Every time somebody wears a feathered headdress, it represents spirit, okay? These are wings. The top of the caduceus, if you get balanced energy flowing through all of your chakras, and they come up here, where do those two snake heads end? Okay, this is dragon energy, snake energy, right? They end here in the third eye. They don't end in the crown. And their mouths are open. So they're bringing from the tips of their tail in your 8 original cells, the masculine and feminine principles. And right now, you probably have some blocks, and some of them it gets through, and maybe 1 or 2 places it flows, or maybe you get into flow and then it gets blocked again. So if it was flowing through like this, and you were communicating, and you were constantly being fed, and you felt like you were in prosperity, you felt like you had the strength, you had the power, your whole spine was alive with this energy, and you trusted that this is yours, this is your dragon, right? Here, curled up in the shame and the guilt and the goo that I find in everybody's sacral when we do sessions with this. And so what is it? It's all our shame, all our fear, all the torture, all the whatever has happened. And what the dragon represents is very similar to the sacred feminine. The sacred feminine, not being men or women, okay? The sacred feminine was what, okay? Overtaken by the masculine that expressed this extreme that we think is normal. We know now it's not, but we don't have the experience of any balance in it. And what I've been told by all these energies is that if we don't really pull up that sacred feminine now, go to the sacred sites, do your meditation, trust your intuition, activate whatever it is you feel called to do, start to trust your inner voice. Okay, this inner authority is the oracle, and the oracle is who we all are. So we used to have to go to someone. And of course, now, yes, get help, find your teachers, find whoever it is that resonates, that opens you up and gives you a safe space. Here's what you're saying. Trusts you, believes you, sees you. Okay. And yet, all of it is not designed for you to figure out how to do it someone else's way. It's not for you. I'm like Neil, I love research. I love history. I like finding the clues and the mysteries in the stories and the myths, and then going there and seeing the symbols and putting it all together. It's just amazing. And what I'm very aware of right now, and what the dragon energy is telling us right now, is that we can no longer tell the old story. The eclipse portal we just went through was all about, you can't go back. Sorry, can't go back. The door's shut. You can't, if you try to do things an old way, you're just choosing struggle. So what does that mean? It means you have to move forward into the unknown reality that you're now supposed to be the creator of, because you were designed to be the creator of it, but you've never had that strength, that confidence, that sense of it. So this dragon year, you can think, wow, awesome, a prosperity dragon and green and growth and all this. I don't know, I have all these words that come with this. It's an amazing, amazing year. Development, good luck, prosperity, elation, power, strength, energy. Okay, this is a very auspicious sign, but this is yang energy. This is the most powerful yang energy. And guess what this means? It's imperial energy. So what are we going to see played out on the stage? We're going to see the big egos and the imperial energy or the patriarchal energy just roar with this energy. And we have to hold and draw up within us and have the courage to say, I'm not going down your way. You don't get to control me. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to think you're evil. I'm not getting sucked into that conversation. That is not what the sacred feminine does. The sacred feminine is not what needs to take over. It's what needs to stop being suppressed and mistrusted and brought up out of all of the shame. So what the dragons have showed me, and I went to Greece recently. I took a small group of women really fast. It was like, oh my God, you got to go. And I had all these past life memories as a child. I knew all the gods and goddesses. I went to the temples, and the guide used to ask me when I was 9 years old, and whose temple is this? And so it was like, wow, I hadn't thought about it in years. It came up, changed my life completely. And not only to go back to these sites now, doing the work that I do in a conscious way, but that I walk in a sacred way. I do nothing 24/7. I do nothing if it is not in a sacred way. I am not interested in anyone else's story or drama, not from a callous perspective, because I'm like, come into my love place, come into my fairy godmother world, and we will, because I can see you. I can see the truth of you, right? And so we clear and we cleanse and we hope these things come, but they're not coming because they are you. They're already there. All right. And so what they're saying is that the sun represents self, okay, in the simplest term. And everybody had a sun god. And Kukulkan is a sun god, also a wind god and a rain god and a lot of other things. But Kukulkan, the feathered serpent, was a sun god, is a sun god, and has become one of my incredibly profound guides. And what happened is I've had three near-death experiences and one pretty close in the 8 years I've been here. And Kukulkan was always there. And it was like this enormous being near me along the side here. And I could feel this enormous serpent energy just moving really slowly next to me. And it's a rattlesnake. So not all serpents are rattles, but however, here's what's profound. If you feel drawn to the Mayan stuff, this is so profound. I call it the blue heart of Mayan truth. And we actually have a video from one activation that my group did of a lady who was taking a picture, like a live picture of this lights appear above us. It was a green light and then some other orbs. And then all of a sudden, this pink light came down right over me. She caught it like that, one picture, whole boom, 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 boom. And then this blue above us that was beating like a heart right in the center of the pyramid. And what the different journeys that I've been on into the pyramids, through them, into Atlantis, always with this flow. So here's what they say. The sun is yourself. So what if you are a descended God and the sun comes and brings you the gold rays, and just like a plant, you can take which ones are optimal for you. You know how to do it. You don't have to figure out how to do it. You have to remember to receive it though. And then you go, oh, okay, now I come down and now I'm moving back up. So we've gone up, but here's the thing that we've experienced. Not only are we in an accelerated evolution right now, and there's no way around it, the muggles even know, right? It's that we have been through many different levels of these 9 waves of consciousness in one life. That never used to happen. The humans didn't even appear till around level 5 on the planet. Okay. And so you have the ancient wisdoms like the dragons and the elementals and these other things that came way before the humans were starting to use that type of a body. And then from there, in my life alone, I've experienced, I hope I'm right, 4, I think, waves of consciousness, and we're at the top. So this is why we've moved so fast that people are going, wait a minute, I'm still thinking the old way. I'm still stuck to the old. The snake energy tells you what? Shed. Shed, shed, shed. And that's what Kukulkan Khan would say to me over and over, shed. And it was like, I'd hear the rattle, shed, shed. One time I got stung, I call it my bee shaman, came, hit my eye, blah, 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 hit me here, covered in welts from head to knees, and ended up in the emergency room in the very early days of COVID. All night long, stronger and stronger steroids, nothing would stop it. They sent me home with some pills and said, good luck, as my eyes were swelling shut. Whole time, Kukulkan was there, shed, shed. Literally, my skin was shedding. This was when I died 3 times. So I went through time and space, time and space, time and space. What is it that they really want you to know? The Mayans knew that Kukulkan, Quetzalcoatl to the Aztecs, was, if you see the snake this way, goes like this, right? Is the guide back to the unity consciousness, back to where you came in as a God, back to remembering you're a God, but not leaving your body. That's where we are now. If we can unify with the truth of who we are, if we can unify our sacral energy, our kundalini into the earth, if we can help Gaia to reawaken that, then within us, because we are made of Gaia, we can ignite our own personal sacred dragon, serpent, life force purpose in our 8 original cells and actually start to raise everything we are. We have to attune our vehicle in order to handle these higher frequencies. So you can wish and you can wonder, but all that happens is a kundalini blowout where you don't know who you are, you can't recognize numbers and all kinds of really, it's okay if it happens, and let me know because I'll help you through it. It's just that if you do this in the way and let it unfold, let it unravel, and you go talk to these sacred spirits, and you go to even just look at the pictures on my website or something, is you have the opportunity to go and say, oh, okay, I'm being guided. So all we have to do is go through the ups and downs of life. And we know that we're inside of the sacred serpent and we're weaving back and forth. And then the feathers start to come back, which means we've woven our way up. And we're now, the serpent dumps all that kundalini energy into the 3rd eye, into the 6th chakra. And as it opens and all of those little glands in there, the Egyptian eye and the hypothalamus and pineal and all that, right? Boom, boom, they connect. Then boom, those wings open that you see at the top. Right? The wings open in the crown. And that is showing you this is how you awaken your crown. This is how you awaken your inner vision. This is how you awaken your connection to your soul star, and so on. And the pineal that becomes the antenna for you to communicate with those optimal energies for you at this time. Right? So Kukulkan says shed. Now, what do snakes have to do to shed? They have to go through a rough patch. They have to go through a rough environment. they rub themselves on a rough, thorny tree, or they rub themselves on a stone wall. So we were at one of these pyramids once, magical. I mean, insanely magical things happened. People's crystals glowing, and we're levitating, and it just was like, it's so amazing. And afterwards, we were walking from where we'd done the activation around this structure to go see the other buildings and temples. And right there on the wall was a snake skin. A small snake had rubbed itself on the wall and was just hanging. Okay. So what happens is that if we're going through something rough or tough or ups and downs, or we're like, oh, I thought it was all going to be perfect because now I'm spiritual. No. Okay, you're here to do this. And what does the snake do? Shed your identity, shed your fears, shed. Okay, let it go. And let the things that your soul is serving you in your environment to let go. Now, here's the thing we have to remember. All of us are already perfectly formed underneath that current identity. The snake is already perfectly formed. It doesn't rub off of its skin and it's raw and naked and barren. It has all the new patterns, all the new skin. And the rattlesnake has a new rattle. Every time it sheds its skin, it has a new rattle. The rattle for the Maya represented the crown chakra. So every time you shed your skin, you go through a ritual, you go through a heroic death, you go through something major on your spiritual path, you grow a new crown chakra. You grow a new rattle. And when we remember these things, then we know we're being guided. So they would show then the human coming out of the mouth of the snake. And the Christians came and said, "Oh, these are evil people. They're honoring demons, and snakes are evil because someone else said it." Snakes are the ultimate life force. It's transformational. It's life force, and you don't need someone else. You don't need someone else's authority. You can connect directly to anything when you do this process. All right. So the sacred feminine and the snake were put together and made evil and smeared. And you have things like Medusa and Hydra and a lot of these things that were goddesses, that were beautiful energies, that had incredible powers. I mean, Athena would carry Medusa's head on her shield. There's more to that. That's a whole other story. Okay. So both of these things were taken in our mind and they were twisted into any way to keep us from allowing our own inner authority to rise. Right? Okay, good. So, Neil, can you tell me? I don't know how much time I have. I want to take everybody in and we're going to go talk to Python.
Just checking real quick.
I didn't pay any.
You have like 12 more minutes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, good. So one other thing, if you're interested in the Maya, there's a man named Jose Diaz Bolio. And he lived here in Merida, near where I live. And he discovered, he was a scholar basically, that the entire Mayan culture, everything from their pyramids to their abilities in astronomy, astrology, science, being able to build these pyramids exactly to the sun at these different things and all that stuff, right, that the cool ancients did, was all based on the snake of this skin, the skin of this snake. And this snake is only found in the Yucatan. And this is the pattern. And they said that he is the holder of movement and measure. Movement and measure. This is what creates time and what creates space. This is what creates your body. This is what creates the wormholes and possibilities that open up. So this is just one of his many, many books. The Plumed Serpent is one of them, and his research. But this is just an example of how they've taken and put every form of art and pattern and all these things that the hieroglyphics here represented, and they all go back to the sacred pattern that is embedded in this snake's skin. What does that tell us? That tells us that we also have within us and within our DNA, right? All of that wonderful stuff. So let me see if I can share my screen. Yeah. I want to share a beautiful piece of artwork that my honey bunny made for me. And so I think you can see that. So if you check out my Infinite Show on YouTube, my website, nanakasha.com, This is a show I just did this week. So you might, since we're talking about dragons, you might like that. And I did a meditation as well. And I'm doing dragon spirit medicine sessions with people. And I'm doing a Greece retreat where we're going to plug into this dragon I'm about to tell you about in May with the beautiful Joan of Angels. And we went there. She came on my trip we just did, and we anchored ourselves. This is where you find the dolphin retreats. And we're doing a call on Monday, so you can join that. So this is our little group in December at Delphi. And I want you to ground here. I want you to just take a minute to look into this photo. We're at the Temple of Apollo. And the Temple of Apollo was built on top of Python, which is really called Delphine. And Delphine was the daughter of Gaia. And Delphine is the Kundalini of the earth. And Gaia created Delphine, who was described as a giant serpent or a dragon or a Dracana. I love that word, Dracana. And she was created to guard the sacred place because Delphi was considered the navel of the planet and the source of Gaia, the source of sacred feminine. And so this is where everything came through into the planet. And this was the representative of the masculine coming. So the story says that she's happily hanging out with the oracle and with Gaia, protecting the sacred space, and the energies shifted and the masculine came in. The story says Apollo comes in and kills her and burns her, takes her bones for her power, puts them in a cauldron, and builds this temple on top of her. And then he was reprimanded by some of the other gods. And so he started games similar to the Olympic Games, called the Pythia Games or Pythia Games. And there's a stadium up on this site. And so what we have just done out before this picture is we've sat on the altar of Apollo right here. And we've rooted ourselves and reconnected our navel back to Gaia. This is what she told me was one of the reasons I needed to take a group there now. And we started on the full moon and we ended on the equinox on the eclipse. And the power and new moon and the power that we released is continuing to come through to me. And this just helped you tune in a little bit more. So what Gaia has told me is that you don't mourn that these things happen. These are showing you the waves of energy that come and go, the way that Kukulkan was showing you, up and down, back and forth, waves of energy. We're going more to the east, we're going more to the west, we're coming back to center, so on and so forth. So here, if you think about it, we went there to free the block. And I didn't realize we were freeing this dragon. I didn't know until I was walking around Athens. I don't know if you can see this. And I fell in love with this ring. It was only $20, so don't get excited. But I fell in love with it. And I don't wear this color. And I just found out in the last 3 days channeling this beautiful dragon who I'm just falling in love with, Delphine. She said, this is her tear. This is a dragon tear, and she gifted it to us in the meditation the other day. So if you built a temple on top of this and you kept the bones, the bones, representing the power, right? The power of the sacred feminine, the power of that protection. What did we see on the planet? Because the masculine couldn't own the ability to create life, it had to limit it and control it. The oracle went from channeling Gaia to channeling Apollo, to being interpreted by priests and being drugged. So the sacred feminine, it's a representative with the snake. This scholar who found this out has an entire institute here on it, made presentations, and all he received in his entire life was, ooh, snakes, oh no, serpents, oh no. Intelligent, supposed scholarly men still carrying this. Why? Because we are afraid of our own power, maybe because we know what can be done with it, or maybe because we've been threatened not to use it. And this is just a nice shot from above, so you can really tune into the land and the energy here. So this is the original rock of the oracle, not supposed to be there, but I did, that she would sit on. So let's go ahead and take a moment now. Thank you. Okay, good and charged up. Got my dragon here. Oh, yes, I will mention you too. This is Esquiplio. And he is the god of healing. And this is the staff, this rod of Sciplio is what you see on all the EMF. The star of life is from him. It's the one serpent healing rod. And we activated 3 of his centers. They were the precursors, direct spiritual access. The floors were covered in snakes, not poisonous snakes, but they were considered wise healers and very important in the process. And you went and slept there in the temple to receive a direct healing from him. I had an out-of-body experience, one of many in Greece, where he came and manifested next to me, opened a door in the wall into one of these centers in ancient times, and I became this rod with the snake around me. So there's a lot of snake energy. Then he had me buy some snake rings when I was in Athens. So a lot of this energy is rising again, where people don't understand that our cultural mindsets and our subconscious fears are the biggest limiters to us owning our own power. All right, so let's go ahead and take a deep breath in, bring this in. Welcome, Delphine. Welcome, Delphine. We give thanks to the sacred space. We give thanks to this beautiful moment as we gather here. With this golden cone of light above and below, we are between the worlds. We enter the all-seeing eye. And in this place and in this space, relaxing, take another breath in. Bring this up your nose, across your forehead, out your crown. And let it go up like a fountain. When you release it, say in your heart, I'm ready and willing and open and receptive to enter the sacred space, connect to my divine dragon, my sacred feminine, my ability to create, and the truth of who I have been and who I am here to become. Now relax deeply into this space. Yes, indeed, we are entering into this space, and Gaia is holding a green, glowing, it's like a sphere. Delphine is inside of this sphere. It's like being in soft, velvety green mists. And Gaia says, would you relax? Would you release the tension? And would you let me reignite your direct connection to sacred source? In this place, you are deeply loved and you are welcomed. This is a place between the worlds. This is the place where we have drawn our sacred energy, the powers of the heart, the powers of the serpent, the powers of the dragons, and the powers of creating life. We exist within the stones, and we exist within the waters, and we watch and we wait. And you are here. Yes, you are here. You're here. Oh my goodness, you are here. It has been so long since you came to my womb, to my caves, to my arms, to my heart. You have held yourself apart, and I love you so. I've had to wait and to watch like a mother watching as you take your steps in the world, as you find yourself lost, as you find yourself falling, as you find yourself again. My love has existed within you. I am Delphine, yet first I was Pytho. First as Python, the sacred space of Gaia's life force was my grounds to play. I loved it so. I could play with my magic. I could play with my soul's gifts because I was told exactly what I was designed for. And I never doubted it. I now am asking you to remember me because I can awaken this for you. Now is the time, not just for divine feminine art to rise. No, this is the time for you to rise. Who are you? I know who you are. I helped give you life. Like you, I am a part of Gaia, of everything, of the primordial. Unlike you, I never forgot who I was. And even when I was martyred, I knew it was in alignment to the flow of the divine path we are all on. And all that matters now is that we're back. Come here, join me. Let's celebrate. Let's dance around the rock of the oracle. Let's prance through the temple. Let's play with these pillars that brought golden sunlight down. Let's say yes, above and below together again. I am not my story. You are not your story. Nothing is a story. You are so much more, and you are nothing. You are Pegasus who rides high on the wings, magic strong, born from the waves of consciousness that love and adore you. And you are the crystals that worked in Atlantis and Egypt that wake up now, day by day by day. I am an earth dragon, yet I am the Kundalini of divine Gaia, and I protect and I guide, and even though I have been forgotten, even though my story says you are dead, I am now rising again, and so are you. Resurrection is here. Isis has returned. All of our pieces are gathering. You know now. Receive. Bring your root and bury it here. Sit on this sacred land in Pytho, in Delphi. Feel me. I am a part of the earth and the dirt. I am a part of the air. I am a part of the altar and the temple. Nothing in me was lost. All this structure gave me was more opportunity to bring the divine wisdom of the sacred feminine to the world, the most respected oracle. And now I am rising again, just for you. You are the oracle. You say that you are waiting. No, you're not. You are here. You're waiting for yourself. Oh, you have been seeing everyone else's story, and today I ask you to bring. Now you feel your root on these rocks, on this dirt. You feel my blood, my bones. You feel the ashes of who I was. And you laugh. You know that now there is no stopping any of us because the power of resurrection is within us. And today you receive this, and it is exactly in the alignment of your soul awakening. Take a moment to feel your root. And first, Gaia asks you to dump and release and cleanse and let it out. She wants to eat it. Let the pain go, the past go, the contracts, the souls, the limits, the what ifs, the he's, the she's, the what. None of it matters anymore. There is no story. There's only your truth. Now draw in through this clear channel directly into your sacral, directly into that beautiful, coiled, original blueprint. Delphine brings the joy, the frequencies of the dolphins, the crystals in the caves, and the spiritual waters. Now these will awaken within you. 3, 2, 1. And so it is. The maiden oracles of Delphi now bring you a beautiful wreath of flowers, and they're waving and winding the energies around you. The sacred golden infinity weaving is bringing all of these energies into your cells, your bones, your DNA, your spinal fluid, settling in the brain, washing through the chakras, out through the aura, mind, emotion, and back into the heart. Bring yourself down into this moment. You are no longer the same. Welcome yourself to your new reality and your new timeline. We ask that this circle be open yet unbroken, and this divine connection to each person in any time and space maintain this clear, divine download, channel, codes, healings, revelations, and realignments. And the truth is within. Be in your luminous place. Walk peace and love with every step. And Gaia and Pythia, Delphine, will be with you. We give great thanks to all of these energies, this beautiful space, and to Neil and all the people here who are creating this vortex of love and light, that are opening these doors through time and space, that we may ride on wings of Isis, gliding between the worlds, weaving again the beautiful world of divine balance, beauty, prosperity, growth, love. And so it is.
so it is.
Thank you.
Oh, just receiving that beautiful transmission in our hearts. Really grateful for your activations and teaching and wisdom. That was very beautiful.
Thank you so much. You're also welcome. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you, everyone.